This is the StarCraft 2 BSG Cup. We are in the second semi-final now, upper bracket semi-finals, dare I say, even though it's really like not a sort of upper lower bracket thing. But still, we have FlaminFlier spawning in the top middle position as the purple Protoss, and in the right hand position at the 2 o'clock position we have KeNz as the red Protoss player. They are FlaminFlier, not light pink. I think last week he was light pink a bit and I called him metrosexual. Purple is not any better than light pink. Purple is still pretty gay. I say that being purple myself, so nice try FlaminFlier on trying to be less metro, but it didn't quite work. Still, there is blue. Try using that, might work. Still, moving on. So PvP here, quite a different matchup. We just saw TVZ on this same map. In fact, we saw it on Metalopolis as well, and we saw Captain Jack take out OGS the Flame with a Marine SCV rush. I love his build. I hate it when I first saw it. I'm like, oh, that's horrible. He can't play the game. But every time I watch it, and the timing on it is just such a good time that your opponent really doesn't have time to react. He needs to scout it, but he needs to scout at a really weird time to see it. I just love the build. It works so well. But still, see what we happen. So completely different matchup now. PvP. Basically, if this game goes past the early gateway and dare I say robo pushes, we will see Colossus come out. It will be a Colossus war. Generally, killing early Colossus with your Colossus. So if you get 3, he has 2. You need to. If you kill his 2, you've pretty much won the game because you're gonna have that 3 advantage for the whole time. Just keep building Colossus off 2 robos. We've got to get there first. 4 gates and stuff can still happen. So, from what I understand, I don't play Protoss, but I have commentated quite a few Protoss games, and the most common and the most solid build is 3-gate robotics facility. What that does is it gives you your observer, which lets you A, scout your opponent, and B, get the immortal out. Now, scouting your opponent's big because, sorry, I completely just went off tangent there, but getting your observer out quick lets you scout your opponent and detect Dark Templar rushes. I've seen people try and DT rush against robos. It does not work. Only works against 4-gate, so just putting that out there. But Immortals as well. Immortals are super strong against Stalkers. They force your opponent to attack the Immortal as well, so you can micro on back and your opponent does less damage. Great unit to have, and you can beat 4-gate with 3-gate robo quite easily, provided you get that Immortal out. See a second gas going down here from FlaminFlier. Second gas a bit early. The standard 4-gate build gets this gas about that timing, so I'm curious to see if he does follow up with that. If he does chrono boost this cybernetics core with warp gate, we'll see that possibly happening. But no, he's quite low on his chrono boost, so we're not going to do that. As we see this probe here, just poking around, trying to get him to pull guys off gas. This zealot will come out and deal with him. Now he's got a micro this probe out of the base, not going to happen. So we won't really see him tech until his probes are chased off, because really, you don't want your opponent seeing what you're doing in case they try and counter it perfectly, because obviously some builds counter others. Still, Stalker out now, guard on top of the round, that stops the probe coming in now. Gateway coming down. This scout here is still in his opponent's base, so he cannot really get this. And when I say he went double gas, wow, I was so wrong with that. It's actually KeNz's gas. He has gas stolen in a PvP. I've never seen that. It's usually Zerg that do this, but hey, deciding the 75 minerals he spends on that gas, delaying his opponent's tech, is worth it. Robotics facility going down. KeNz scouting the robotics facility. That's exactly what's going on. Knows that DT rushes are probably off the boards. Don't go on. You see robotics. It's stupid. Second gate going up, and that goes down. So we should see a 3-gate robo from Flamin. What have we got coming over here? Robotics as well. So 1, 2 gates so far. We should probably see 3-gate robo from both players here. Warp gate almost done. Both players, actually, no, it's almost done for KeNz, but only sort of just past halfway down Flamin, so slightly behind. Observer coming out now. Would like to see sentries coming out, to be honest. 3 zealots, don't like it. I would like to see a sentry and a stalker come out. Have that trinity of units, 1 of each, and you might think, oh yeah, whatever, just get one of each, makes it look cool. But no, it works really well together because you can force field, you can trap units with your zealot. Obviously 3 zealots against 1 stalker, the stalker will win. So, hey. Speaking of stalkers, there's 2 sentries. Wow, completely wrong. 2 gates coming up. What's back here? Pylon. So he's obviously got the observer in his base now, scanning it out. Something to keep in mind: if your opponent has robotics, he's obviously going to have an observer in your base. So perhaps use your observer to scout his one, so you can kill it. Small advantage you can gain. We just see a stalker just walk in there, and we see an expansion from FlaminFlier, and we see also an expansion from KeNz. So KeNz scouting FlaminFlier's expansion, deciding that well, it gives you two choices, right? If your opponent expands and you're on one base still, you have two choices. One is to attack and hope that you can kill him with that 400 minerals extra that you have that it takes to put down that Nexus. The other one is to expand yourself, and honestly, look at the time difference on that. It's barely any at all. He won't get that much of an advantage, and it will go into a two-base game. Smart move by him. That's why you need a scout, guys, because if you can get that expansion, that second expansion up, and you had just sitting in one base, then yeah, you're going to fall behind. Model coming out. Love this Immortal. Is there a model coming out for KeNz? No. Quite strange. In fact, the Immortal is a very strong unit, even once it starts going to Colossus Wars, because Immortals do extra damage against Colossus if you can target it properly. They also do damage against Stalkers, which are the sort of the staple unit in the Colossus Wars. People are like, why don't you just go pure Colossus in the Colossus War? Get like 3 Robos and just pump out Colossus. The reason is that Colossus don't take much damage. They need something to tank the damage for them. Zealots with legs are great for that. Stalkers are great for that. Well, they're not great for that, but they're better than taking the damage on the Colossus because they're a lot cheaper. But Immortals are also good for it. Still, to keep in mind what these guys are doing, scouting around now, looking for the pylon. Obviously, you don't want pylons near your own base if you can help it. Obviously, sees exactly what he's got. He's got pure Stalker, and so 2 Stalkers and 5 Sentries and 1 Zealot here. Interesting mix. Honestly, until Colossus come out, Sentries are a very strong unit. Getting your shields down, being able to pick out units. If you win the fight and he tries to run away, you can force field and stop him from running away. We see it push now though. This Immortal is out. He does see his opponent's Immortal has come out as well. What have we got? 3 Zealots. Let's show the units real quickly. So we have, in comparison, FlaminFlier have 6 Zealots compared to KeNz 3. He also has 2 Immortals compared to KeNz's 1. He has 4 Stalkers opposed to 2. But KeNz has 5 Sentries over FlaminFlier's 2. So he comes a push now. We're just going to push and pull away or actually move him. We'll have to see. This is a very bad pull that back. Here they come now. It's good positioning now. Force fields need to go up. 2 Guardian shields. Small waste. That's the kind of force fields you need. Blocks that Immortal back there. That Immortal's still going to shoot a few units. He's pushing in. He's got 2 Immortals. This one's still got a few shields left. But neither Immortal is really taking any damage. Like both Immortals are just sort of sitting there with no hold. This one's starting to take, its shields are gone. He needs to pull back. Yep, he pulls back. So it did a bit of damage, but neither player really coming out on top there. Just checking the income real quickly. And wow, FlaminFlier taking a massive advantage early on despite the very mirrored builds. 45 harvesters to 35. Possibly because he was chrono boosting the Nexus, whereas his opponent has been chrono boosting other buildings. Still, Robotics Bay is out now, so we should see Colossus soon, just checking production. And we have Robotics Bay just starting down here somewhere. Actually, no, it's in his base. There it is now. So, Robotics Bay a lot faster for FlaminFlier. That could be the difference in this game. This push, if he pushes now though, he's going to obviously be a few minerals behind, going for that Robotics Bay. But being Colossus being the staple of this encounter, getting him up early is something awesome. Getting another Immortal out before that Colossus. Should start building one soon, otherwise he's going to lose his advantage that he got from building it early. Also, Thermal Lance needs to be upgraded. I mean, this base is starting to look really good now. I think Flamin's in a slight tech lead, but the game is just so close right now. Neither player's really taken any hit that it's, you know, it's really still up in the air. We're still waiting for a decisive push from either player to really decide what happens in this game. That first push was just, no one really won. It was just like everyone loses, or everyone wins, depending on how you look at it. Glass half empty or glass half full. So over here, just sort of peering around, having a look at this now. Just keep in mind though, with observers, yeah, they're invisible, but if your opponent has observers, just be careful with them. Like if you leave them over the top of your army, it's such an obvious place to go that you can just build your own observer and kill it. That way you have a small advantage in that you don't know what your opponent's doing, or that they don't know what you're doing. Sorry. Have a look now. We see a Colossus coming out here, and one has already popped out here for FlaminFlier. He has got the double Robo Colossus span, which is awesome. He has also magically supply capped himself like a hero or a legend. As that pylon there gets finished, and start building that. Small error. Second robotics just now going down. I think KeNz is starting to fall behind as far as macro goes. He is sort of like seeing his opponent do stuff, like he's seeing double robotics, and he's realizing that's a good idea, actually I should do that. He's just sort of copying him. He is going for the rocks though here, but once again, after his opponent does. So he's just sort of mirroring him in every single way possible. So hey, to wait and see until these guys push. It's going to be a really, really boring game until these guys have like 200 out of 200 of Colossus. Just checking unit counts real quickly now. FlaminFlier has about a 10 supply advantage, but he also has about a 10 probe advantage. So they're about even as far as army sizes go. The problem is, well, this base is going to go up a lot soon, obviously, and this one hasn't even started yet. So yeah, observer right over the top here. pull his observer back and snipe that out, but still. Colossus counts. That's what we really care about, isn't it? Let's check units. We have 4 Colossus versus 2. That is 4 versus 2. So that second robotics being up for slightly longer has given him that advantage. He's looking to push in with this. He sees his opponent only has 2. Third one is not close to done yet, actually. These are the 2 here. He's chrono boosting them out. Obviously decides he needs them. That will give him the same units he currently has as his opponent. Still, just not to push forward. Cool. This is really, really fun to watch. But hey, we'll have to wait and see what these guys can do later in the game. Not really much else to go on about. Let's have a look at, actually, something I did notice a bit earlier is this. So, FlaminFlier decided to go for the Forge. Now, when you're in a mirror match, and your armies are, you've gone their same build, let's face it, they went the same build, maybe one of them's a bit slower, but you need some sort of advantage, right? And +1 is that advantage you need. It makes your unit slightly better than your opponent, so if everything else is equal, you are going to be slightly ahead. And wow, KeNz realizing this is putting down 2 Forges. I guess we get double upgrades at once, which is an awesome idea. So obviously scouting his opponent out. It's just, it seems to me like he's getting his ideas from his opponent, but I have no doubt he's a good player because his opponent obviously, he's got through this round, sorry. Kind of started that and stopped remembering what I was talking about. We do see a Twilight cancel out, and we see it, push coming in here. Colossus versus Colossus. Not much really going on. Colossus starting to get sniped out here. Actually, I feel these Colossus FlaminFliers not doing too well on this, and he just lost a few, but then he's only got, wow, he's only got one left. He's pulling back with 1. This could be in trouble for KeNz now. This is probably going to be game for KeNz. He's just lost his last Colossus. Has he got any coming out anytime soon? Nowhere near close. He's going to lose both Forges, possibly even the natural. He's going to lose a pylon here for some reason. GG from KeNz. Obviously, he can't come back from that kind of deficit. So, despite being such a slow game up to that point, bang. Right then, not much else happened. KeNz going, doesn't realise. Scrap station next up, just picking on that. There you go. So in mirror matches, obviously it doesn't matter so much. So well played to FlaminFlier taking the first game in the semi-finals. Stay tuned and we'll go on to the second game in this best of 3.